Okay, so this was last night's culinary experiment. I haven't made a big brisket of beef before, and so I bought this one here. It was like $70, but on sale for $48 at Fred Meyer's. So I got this, and this is a choice steak, a beef, and or let's see, I forget how that is, but this is kind of like a medium cut. And if you go to the famous big box warehouse outlet and buy their prime or brisket of beef, it's like a better grade of beef. But this is okay. One thing I will say though is that you see that it does have a bit of fat marbled into the meat. So I'm gonna cut this here other piece in a second and see what we end up with as far as grain. See, we have kind of a fat cap on it here, and then it's got the spicing on it. I use the well, I'm not going to say which famous person's rub I used, because I didn't especially care for it that much. I've had better, and so I'm going to have to make this again and get a little bit smaller of a size that will fit inside of my charbroil barbecuer, because I didn't actually smoke this, but yeah, it is good, no doubt about that, but it gets better as you get away from the edges, and so the bark from the spice on it is just it's okay, but it's not exciting me any. So the next time I'm going to try some of the recipes for homemade rub, which is usually like a half salt, half coarse ground pepper, and then you can add in some onion powder, garlic powder, cumin, paprika, and then you can also add to that some of the ready-made seasonings like Tony Chachere's, Cavender's, and Lowry's seasoned salt are some popular additions that add flavor. And so anyway, when I make that one, I will give a freshed up report. So let me go ahead and slice this thing here, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get a cut on this one-handed. Maybe I can. You see, it is pretty tender, and so you cut through there, and you know, it's a good piece of beef. You see the bark on there, and that's the fat cap on it. So that's another thing I didn't do, is I didn't remove the fat cap. The fat mostly reduced in the cooking process. I had it in the oven for about a total of 10 hours, and I had it at 180 degrees for about the first 6 hours. Then I brought it up to 2 1/4 for the last 4 hours, and then I brought it up to 250 degrees and then shut the oven off, and then just let it rest in the oven as it cooled down. So we did get a pretty good result with it. I'm very happy with it. The middle of it tastes really good. It's going to make some awesome sandwiches. Put some favorite barbecue sauces on there. Maybe some sauteed browned onions. But yeah, okay, so let me get this sliced up, and I'll show you what we have when we get there. Hang on. Okay, I have sliced the brisket now, and you can see that we have good meat separation here, and the stuff pulls. It's pliable. See, we have a good crust on the top around there. A little bit of fat through the center, that's normal. You can see that's mostly, the fat's mostly gone from there, just some little bit of material left. So this part of the brisket is a lot leaner. It has that fat vein going through it, but the meat itself is much leaner, excuse me. And this end of the brisket here, you can see it's more marbled. And so this has a bit more rich flavor to it. Probably give you heartburn if you're like me and you eat something that's real fatty. So yeah, anyway, it worked out pretty good. I did do this in an electric oven, so it's not gonna be as good as a brisket done in the smoker, but this is kind of what we used here, was liquid smoke. Then for my binder, I used honey mustard, which was honey and French's mustard, and about half of, I think it's Meinschwitz honey mustard from the store. So half that, half French's, and then I put in a couple tablespoons of liquid smoke into the mustard mix and lathered up all sides of the brisket really well with that. And then I applied the famous chef rub to the rest of it, and it was good. It was good, but just not quite what I was hoping for. So the next one, I'm going to get a smaller brisket. I'll do the honey mustard rub again. That worked out really well. But I'm going to smoke it in my Weber charbroiled grill, because you just cannot replace the taste of a wood fire. And I have some wood chunk cowboy brand charcoal, I think it's called, so it's actual wood, not briquette, and that should lend a better smoky flavor than regular old briquettes will. And then I'm going to make a heat plate that goes over the coals so that the brisket doesn't get so much direct heat. It'll be more of a radiant heat off of the steel plate, and then I can put my coals under that, so the smoke will envelop around the sides of the plate and roll in under and over the brisket, infusing that smoky goodness. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. So anyway, this is gas oven style, and next time it will be charcoal style. Okay, all right. Anyway, it's my first attempt at making a brisket. It's good. It'll make some good sandwiches. We'll be able to use it for other things too. Throw it into chili. You know, just a whole bunch of stuff. Make a little bit of vegetable beef stew. Okay, all right. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this, and we will see you on the next video.